Silica or Bellum Silicium. First of all, what is Silica? Silica is a United States-led geopolitical initiative launched in December 2025 to secure the global supply chain for semiconductors and artificial intelligence, AI. The core objectives are supply chain sovereignty. The goal is to build a trusted ecosystem that is independent of coercive foreign actors, specifically targeting China's dominance in critical mineral processing and refining. The full-stack approach. Unlike previous trade deals, Pax Silica focuses on the entire industrial ladder, from critical minerals like lithium and cobalt, and energy inputs to chip manufacturing, data centers, and advanced AI models. Economic security. It treats economic power and national security as inseparable, using state capital to fund refineries and fabs in trusted jurisdictions. The coalition consists of trusted partners who host critical nodes in the tech supply chain. The signatories are as follows: the US, Japan, South Korea, Australia, the United Kingdom, Singapore, Israel, Qatar, and the UAE. Analysts describe a hierarchy where allies, who host fabs or own critical minerals, co-invest and gain full access to the stack, while clients can only purchase finished tech under rules set by Washington. Israel is one of a select few nations identified as having a full-stack semiconductor ecosystem, contributing expertise across the entire AI value chain, from chip design and fabrication to foundational AI models and cybersecurity. Washington's dramatic declaration of the Pax Silica doctrine marks a shift toward material diplomacy alongside verbal diplomacy. For Israel, this creates a major opportunity to turn the narrative of shared values into a hard alliance, anchored in supply chains that run from Silicon Valley through Tel Aviv and Abu Dhabi to Taipei. Why is this of concern? Wiz, CyberArk, and Armies are three major cybersecurity leaders, often dubbed Israel's cyber royal flush, that have recently become central to the Pax Silica initiative. Wiz was founded in 2020 by four individuals: Asaf Rappaport, Yinon Kostica, Ami Lutwak, and Roy Riznick, who met and served together in Unit 8200. The founders spent nearly a decade in the IDF, where they gained the technical expertise used to build their first company, Bellum, sold to Microsoft, and subsequently Wiz. Wiz provides deep visibility into cloud identities and risks, acting as the primary layer for cloud security posture management. CyberArk was founded in Israel in 1999. CyberArk is a pioneer of the Israeli cybersecurity ecosystem and maintains its primary R&D operations there. Founder and executive chairman Udi Makati is an alumnus of Unit 8200. Its 2025 acquisition by Palo Alto Networks, another company with Unit 8200 roots, was a major event for the Israeli economy, with approximately 1,200 employees in Israel receiving substantial equity payouts. CyberArk implements zero-standing privileges, ZSP, and intelligent privilege controls to secure both human and machine identities across the coalition's infrastructure. Armies was founded in Israel in 2015 and focuses on asset intelligence and security for unmanaged devices. Co-founder Nader Israel served in Unit 8200, while co-founder Evgeny Dibrov served in another elite technological unit, Unit 81. They met when their respective units collaborated on a project that won the Israel Defense Prize. The company's official mission explicitly cites the founders' experiences in Unit 8200 as the inspiration for their approach to cybersecurity. Armies offers the Army-Centrix platform for real-time asset intelligence, ensuring every connected device, from IoT to critical manufacturing hardware, is visible and protected. Some key collaborations are Wiz and CyberArk. Their integration allows for the automatic remediation of excessive standing access. Wiz identifies high-risk identities, which are then seamlessly onboarded into CyberArk Privilege Cloud for strict management. Armies and Wiz. This partnership combines asset intelligence with cloud security. Armies' VIPR Pro ingests Wiz findings to prioritize remediation based on actual business risk. ServiceNow acquisition. The strategic importance of these tools was highlighted by ServiceNow's $7.75 billion acquisition of Armies in late 2025, further embedding these security workflows into global enterprise operations. Under the Pax Silica framework, the U.S. is moving away from globalized, open market tech and toward a friendshoring model. Despite the official alliance, several concerns have been raised regarding foreign influence over U.S. data, such as espionage, dual-use dilemmas, and targeting risks. Investigative reports have highlighted that firms like Axonius, which monitor activity across 70-plus U.S. federal agencies, are led by Unit 8200 veterans, raising questions about potential backdoors or intelligence leakage. In late 2025, Microsoft terminated services for certain Israeli military units after discovering they were using Azure Cloud for mass surveillance. This highlighted the friction that can occur when the interests of private U.S. tech giants, the U.S. government, and the Israeli military clash. U.S. agencies like CISA and the FBI have warned that U.S. critical infrastructure companies with strong Israeli ties may be at a higher risk of retaliatory cyberattacks from adversaries like Iran, or even potential backdooring from their allies allowing access to kill switches in U.S. critical infrastructure, giving your allies access to all your nuclear weapons. Given Israel's design dominance, ACA global giants like NVIDIA, Intel, and Google conduct their most advanced chip design in Israel and backdoor vulnerabilities, because the foundational architecture, the blueprints, of these chips is designed by firms with deep Unit 8200 ties. Countries using this hardware are theoretically vulnerable to low-level, undetectable hardware backdoors. In a conflict, the provider of the hardware and the security software, Wiz, Army's CyberArk, could potentially deauthenticate or disable critical infrastructure remotely. In this initiative, America is essentially giving a foreign nation the legal and physical rights to control the systems that run the country's infrastructure. For countries not part of the Pax Silica alliance, the risks are twofold. Supply chain coercion. The U.S. and Israel can use their control over compute power as a diplomatic tool. Access to the latest AI chips or cybersecurity patches can be restricted to enforce political compliance. Secondary attacks. Adversaries of Israel, such as Iran, frequently target infrastructure that uses Israeli technology. This means a neutral country using Israeli-designed chips could become a collateral target in a shadow war. The world is effectively being forced to choose between two technological ecosystems, the Pax Silica stack and the Chinese stack. Why is this a dangerous move? The Pax Silica initiative, while designed to secure U.S. technology against adversaries like China, introduces several structural and national security risks. By shifting from a model of cost efficiency to strategic control, the U.S. has traded certain global market advantages for a new set of dependencies. Chokepoint vulnerability. Critical segments of the tech stack are concentrated in partner nations, such as ASML's lithography in the Netherlands or Israeli-led AI design and cyber defense. Any political instability or shifting priorities within these nations directly threatens U.S. infrastructure. The double-edged ally. While Israel is a primary partner, its own geopolitical complexities, such as its proximity to Iran or historical deconfliction with Russia, could theoretically expose U.S. systems to third-party exploitation if an ally's security is compromised. decreased efficiency and higher costs. Prioritizing secure supply chains over the cheapest ones is expected to raise input costs for semiconductors and AI infrastructure, potentially slowing U.S. innovation compared to less restricted markets. Retaliatory cyber attacks. By explicitly aligning its critical infrastructure with Israeli and U.S. defensive tech, the U.S. may become a more frequent target for adversaries like Iran or North Korea, who view these specific technology stacks as legitimate military targets. Alienation of key partners. Countries not included in the inner circle, such as many EU nations who have not yet signed due to regulatory rifts, may pursue their own digital sovereignty, further fragmenting the Western alliance and creating interoperability gaps. Loophole risks. Chip hawks in Washington argue that sharing advanced silicon with new Pax Silica partners like the UAE or Qatar creates risks of cloud computing loopholes, where adversaries could theoretically access U.S. compute power remotely. So what just happened exactly? To simplify all of this down to a few sentences, the new U.S.-led coalition has essentially signed away core component manufacture of critical infrastructure to a foreign nation, who has a history of backdooring both hardware and software, and also a history of sabotaging, stealing, and spying on their allies. So all oil and gas pipeline controller chips, all nuclear plant controller chips, all the chips required to run all the upcoming data centers, all the way down to the chips made for your personal devices and computers, all foreign designed. Israel no longer needs to use Unit 8200 member startup companies to try gain access to critical infrastructure components. It's just been legalized so they don't have to. They no longer need people like Jonathan Pollard to steal high technology from the U.S. Now they can just send it via a link on a simple email. The keys to the kingdom are now in the hands of a foreign power, and most people have no idea what this even means. Is this the final phase of that long-lost American dream, welcoming in an abusive partner to control the very systems required for the people to live and function? What, if anything, will the average American do with this information? How do you stop a beast that your owners invited in to stay?